When I first started teaching, I had zero preparation.
Coming out of a PhD program, could I research something? Yes. Could I write you several pages? Of course, not a problem, but not how to teach a student.
In terms of developing a syllabus and the curriculum, I was sort of given somebody else's syllabus and said, here you go, and I had no clue.
The main thing that I had to go on was remembering what other teachers did when I took their classes.
I'm sure I thought about some professors that I didn't learn as much from and tried not to do what they did.
I feel very sorry for the students that I had in the first decade of teaching. There would be days when I would grade the tests, and there might be one A, a couple of B's, a C or two, and a whole lot of D's and F's. And as a faculty member, I would agonize over that.
I think the misstep that I maybe made lecturing in the past was just going in there and thinking that I have to cover everything that's covered in that topic area. What I'm seeing now with regards to that is I'm kind of taking a little bit more pressure off of my shoulders and creating ways for them to learn the information rather than just receive the information.
Each week, we had ways that we could engage through like discussion boards or other things. And so that was really awesome.
One misstep I made was expecting every student to really get it the first time I taught it. I didn't know anything about what was considered a low-stakes assignment. I was like, low stakes, is that like a Vegas thing? AQ helped me adjust that thought process in terms of, looking at, okay, there are various check-in levels that we need for students.
I definitely feel like the emphasis was on what we were learning, how we were gonna apply it as practitioners, and not just us marking A on a test.
I think one big misstep or assumption I was making about students in my classes was that they knew what to do to learn new concepts. When I realized that I could help them better by talking about how to take notes, how to study, setting up skeletal notes for my classes, we kind of accomplished both feats all in one. We're learning new concepts as well as we're learning how to learn.
Because during class we have prompts and we fill out certain things together, it really helps me organize my thoughts, and it really helps during study time.
It's more important now than ever to address the experience of students in the classroom.
We can do scholarships, we can do emergency grant, we can do tutoring, bus passes, everything all around it. But at the core of the experience of the student, learning happens in the classroom.
We're sort of in a day and age where widespread trust in institutions of higher education is at a low. And that may be because we have not been able to communicate the value and the return on investment to students and their parents. And we have to restore the trust that their experience matters.
It's important to improve the quality of teaching at scale because, as the saying goes, a rising tide lifts all boats. When we can change the way faculty see instruction, it changes the way students receive instruction. It changes the way they go out and impact the rest of the world. If we can do that on a national scale, we're changing the trajectory of how we operate, not just in the higher ed ecosystem, but how we operate as a society.
The more you invest in teaching, the more you're going to see students invest in their own learning. So it's about empowering faculty, and it's about connecting with people around the country who also care about this. And I do think it's a movement, and over time, that movement can change what we do in higher education.